Let me start off by apologizing for not having a full-length video up yesterday. I had something to do. I did post a short, and stay tuned to the end of this video if you want a little bit of health update of what I've got going on, if you're interested in that. But let's get to the point of this video. Yesterday, me and my son went to look at some property that was for sale up above them. We get out there and we find it. Well, he calls a neighbor to get the contact information of the people that's selling the property. Now, a pet peeve of mine is people who talk on the cell phone with it on speaker. I don't want to hear your conversation. Even though I was interested in who owned the property, I still don't want to hear your conversation. Take it off speakerphone and talk like a normal person. I told my son that too after he got off the phone. But anyways, one of the neighbors that he called was talking to him. He said they're asking too much for it. What this property is, it's reclaimed coal mine property. And here in our area, they strip mine, which, essentially just destroys the property, right? But then they come back and they reclaim it. They plant grasses. This one's covered in a pine thicket now, and they're asking $32,000 for it, and it's only 3.2 acres. Now, I don't even know if it would perk for a septic tank, right? I'm sure it could, because there's 2 or 3 lots beside it that has homes on it, so they've got to have a septic tank in there. But my son said, and the neighbor that he was talking to on the phone, that I could hear the conversation, said that's just too much money. It's not worth it. And my son kept talking to him. Then he got off the phone, and my son said it's not worth what they're asking. I said, no, it's not. He said, well, ain't nobody going to buy it. I said, nobody around here is going to buy it. I said, the problem comes in where somebody's just scrolling through the internet's got some money, right? They see it, they buy it sight unseen. Oh, they're thinking $32,000 is a deal, right? Because in the description of this property, it doesn't tell people that it's reclaimed coal mine property. It's just this beautiful pine thicket, right, with pine needles on the ground. It's beautiful. It's got paved road frontage. There's power on it. There's water in front of it, right? You have access to the power and water because it's right there in front of you. He said, yeah, but people's not going to pay that. I said, yeah, because you never know where somebody else lives. $10,000 an acre might be cheap to them. It may be $20,000 to $30,000 an acre, and they're thinking they're getting a deal, right? Well, what that comes down to, let's say you have this beautiful 100-acre property beside your house, right? Beautiful. Old man and old woman maybe lives there, or it's just woods, right? You grew up your whole life. These people allow you to fish or hunt it or to hike it. Just kind of help them take care of it, right? Well, grandma and grandpa dies off. The kids don't want the property. 5 years down, they sell it, right? They sell the property. 5 years down the road, you're sitting there, you wake up one morning, you hear forestry equipment going. You go to work, you come home, and that whole 100 acres is clear cut, right? And you're thinking, what's going on here? Well, you go on down the road a little longer, a year or two later, you look over there, there's a subdivision right there beside you, right? And you're like, what am I going to do now? You're surrounded by a subdivision. All this beautiful woods you used to see over here is gone. Now you're in a subdivision. Well, guess what? Your property taxes just increased because of the subdivision. Your 10-acre little spot you've got here, now your property taxes has doubled, tripled, 10 times the amount of what it used to be, right? Because of that subdivision. And then one day, you're like, I can't pay my property tax. You get sick, you get hurt. SHTF does not have to be worldwide. You get sick, you get hurt, you can't take care of your property tax, right? Well, then they get your property. The point I'm trying to make here is, someone on the internet will see that property and more than likely buy it. That sets the precedent of the price of what it's worth, right? Because then your neighbors are going to be like, well, they just sold that old coal mine property for $10,000 an acre that's not even worth $1,500 an acre. Because I've looked on the tax map. It assessed, the 3 acres assessed for around $6,200 for the 3 acres, which to me is ridiculous because it's old coal mine property, right? But that's how we get in this position. Somebody will pay that price, and then somebody else will be like, well, they got that price, I can get that price for my property. And then pretty soon your property values have skyrocketed, And when the property value skyrockets, your tax skyrockets, right? Maybe your tax bill is $1,000 a year. 10 years from now, because that subdivision is over there, you're now paying $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 a year in property taxes, and you can't afford it. They squeeze the little people out. It's what they do. It's just plain and simple. I've told you before, in my area, an acre of land for some reason is $10,000, but when you go on the tax map and you look at this property, the value of it is nowhere near $10,000 an acre. But people are getting that for their land here. I'm sure in other places people are getting a lot more. It's got to the point where, let's say you make $100,000 a year, right? You're thinking that's good money. You know, when I was growing up, if you made $100,000 a year, you was rich. But now $100,000 is not good money. It's not. You can't afford to buy land around your own house because people are paying these ridiculous prices. It's a money game. You know, grandma and grandpa dies off, the kids don't want the property, they see how much property, they just put a price on it and they get it. You know, they're counting their money off, right? Well, we just made a killing because grandma and grandpa paid $1,500 back in the 30s for it, right? And we just sold it for $1.5 million, right? We have a property close to where I hunt. There's 200 acres behind it for sale for $1 million. And you're thinking, well, $5,000 an acre, property around here's $10,000 an acre, $5,000 an acre, sounds decent, right? You contact me, be like, hey, would you sell, 2 or 3 acres or a 10-acre little spot off of it? No, we're selling the whole thing. And eventually where I hunt behind it, that 200 acres will get bought. Somebody will buy it, some investment firm or some bank will buy it, and a subdivision will be put in. It's happening all over our mountain out here. People buy this property, and next thing you know, subdivision comes in, property value skyrockets, your tax bill increases, and you're sitting there getting squeezed out. And there's nowhere else for you to go because property's high everywhere, right? Unless you want to, I don't know where property's cheap. I have looked online. It seems that Eastern Kentucky property is still pretty reasonable there, but one thing I don't know about that area is I don't know if you own the mineral rights. If you live in Eastern Kentucky and you watch my videos, can you tell me if when you buy the property, is the mineral rights included? Because everybody knows Eastern Kentucky, like here, was a coal mine place, right? A lot of areas up there were coal mines. So you may not own the mineral rights below your feet. The property, anyways, me and my son was talking, and I said, son, it's just ridiculous the way prices are out here. And he said, yeah, it is. I said, hold on to what you got. I said, if you're, it's just hard to get property right now unless you're willing to pay the big money. $32,000 for, I think it was 3.2 acres. That's $10,000 an acre. It doesn't have a driveway on it, but you do have power and water in front of you. You'll have to put a septic system in, and out here on the mountain, that can get really expensive unless you're just buying a property to own it, right? You're not wanting to do anything with it. For a reclaimed coal mine, that they come in and planted pine trees on and switchgrass, pretty much. And what I was telling him, I said, when I was a teenager, 15, 16 years old, where this property is, I said, this is where we used to all go riding in our four-wheel drives and go mudding. I said, it's a slag pile. That's what it is. And down at the bottom of the hill, there's a little swampy pond there, right? But there are people that own property on each side of it that somehow has a septic system in, which I don't see how it perked, but it could have perked. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that one. And after we done that, we was talking, he was showing me where he was going to put his garden this year. He's going to till some new ground. We went down there and looked at it, and I took my old pocket knife, dug down in the ground, about 4 or 5 inches, and I said, yeah, it's pretty good soil, because he flipped it up and said it's black here. It used to be woods for years and years and years, and they cleaned it off, and it's been cleaned off for probably about 10 or 15 years, but when I was growing up, it was a forest. And it had good black dirt, and I said, well, this is good, because where I have our farm, garden, whatever you want to call it, when I dig down about 3 inches, I'm in solid clay. Out there, I got down probably about 5 or 6 inches before I hit good clay. I said, you should be pretty good here. So he's wanting to plant. He asked me, he said, taters sell pretty good, don't they? I said, yeah. I said, but you'll make just enough maybe to go broke on them if you're trying to farm right now. But give you a little health update of what happened yesterday. On the way out there, my kidney on my left side started hurting when I was driving. I'm like, I mean bad. I was squirming in the seat. And then it come around to my front side. I'm like, this ain't good. I get out there and I go to the restroom. You know, I'm like, uh-oh. It felt like a kidney stone. And then it hurt me all day yesterday, all night last night, and this morning it feels like it's finally in my bladder. So I'm thinking we're fixing to get a kidney stone out. That's what it's feeling like. I'm hoping that's what it is, because it sure was hurting. But didn't really film any videos yesterday except for that little short, that funky looking cat they have. It's a flat-faced cat, and it freaks me out when I look at it because I don't know what's wrong with it, or maybe it's made that way, but it's completely flat-faced. Its nose is pushed back, and its head, it looks like somebody punched it in the face and shoved its face in. Is what it. But I'm sure it's the breed of the cat, right? But that cat freaks me out. I don't know why it does, but it does. And anytime I see it, I take a little short of it and post it. We are thinking about doing a giveaway on this channel. I'm not sure if we're going to do it or not, because I'm not sure if anybody would be interested in it. We're thinking about giving away one of our charcuterie boards. I don't like calling them that. I've told you that. I call them serving boards. I don't know why people have to make up these fancy names, but that's what they're called. We're thinking about giving one away. If y'all would be interested in that, let me know. We're real close to 800 videos posted. And a lot of y'all know that I have a lot more videos than that has been with me for a long time. But we lost a whole year's worth of videos once the You Can't Talk About This come out, right? So it's hard to believe we've got almost 800 videos up. But we're thinking about doing a video, a giveaway. And if y'all would be interested in it, let me know. You know, it wouldn't cost you nothing. You don't have to pay nothing. We would just, it's just something, a thank you. Some people will be like, I don't want no daggum serving board. But, you know, we're trying to figure something out to do for y'all. Nothing, you know, we're not sponsored. We're not backed by companies or anything like that. We're just, we get on here and we talk, all right? A lot of y'all know we've been doing this for 4 years. We started in 2020. We lost a whole year's worth of videos, and then we started back up after I got mad and said I'm not going to do it anymore. But we're back, right? We're almost at 800 videos. We're still pushing to get subscribers, which is really hard. Really hard. I don't understand how you can have 800 videos, but yet you can't get subscribers and you don't get a lot of views. I guess it means our channel's no good. Nobody wants to watch it. One thing I have heard from new subscribers is I've never even heard of your channel. Never seen it. So that tells me we're not getting in the algorithm. We're not getting pushed. So, you know, that's the way it is. But let me know your thoughts on all this. Do you think property values are going to keep going up? Do you think they're going to crash? Do you agree that a coal mine property is not worth $10,000 an acre? You know, would y'all like for us to do a giveaway? We're not sure when we would do it, but we've thought about doing a giveaway. Let me know your thoughts on all this. Keep your head on a swivel. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. Protect yourself and your family at all times. At that moment, you're the only person who can do it. Stay safe. Keep prepping. And if you're going to buy property anytime soon here, I think it's just going to keep going up. You know, it's ridiculous what it's costing right now. Stay safe. Keep prepping. Hope everybody has a good day.